Well, I'm facing the beach, but the camera's facing me, so. But we made it back. And when I say we made it back, the Lord has brought me back to the place. I'm gonna share a little bit of my testimony for those who have not been following. 2012, it was about actually August 15th when my life changed radically again. There are things that happen in your life that you have no control over. You know, you might hear of a child being born, or you have control over that, obviously, if you don't mess with the woman. You know, a death in the family, and unfortunately, things like divorce. So in 2012, August, I think it was August the 15th, pretty sure it was August the 15th. I've been married 12 years at that time, and she decided she didn't want to be married no more, so we were still living in the same house on August 15, 2012, but then she had told me that she wanted to take our 3 children and go stay with her mom overnight. And it's like the Lord had already been dealing with me on the fact that that would be the last time I would live with my children under the same roof, at least those 3. They're the 3 of the youngest. I have 7 biological total. Sean Jr., Sean A., Ushan, Devin, and then Hannah, Samuel, 7. So she had made up her mind she no longer wanted to be married, so she took the children, lied to me and said she was gonna go stay with her mother overnight, and that was the last time I've lived with my 3 youngest. God had prepared me for it, or else it probably would have been really, really bad for me, because I've been married for 12 years and we have built a life and a family, and that's all it takes is one to break it. Sometimes it takes 2 to make it, but it only takes 1 to break it. So that was her decision. So my life radically changed. So I prayed and asked God. I said, God, what is it that you want me to do? You know, being a minister and a preacher and have been through divorce before, it's heart-wrenching, regardless of the circumstances or situations surrounding the divorce. It's still heart-wrenching. It tears. It just breaks. It's a horrible thing. I don't wish it on my worst enemies, and I've been through it 3 times. So once that happened, I prayed and asked God, what does He desire for me to do? Since now I had all this, now I was single, found myself alone again. The Lord told me to prepare to spread my wings. You know, He was going to open up some doors for me and opportunities for me to do things that I had never done before, but I had desires to do. And that's why the scripture says more than you can imagine or think. You know, there's some things that we desire to do, but God can make the things that we even desire to do bigger. So I prayed, and at that time I had the Valiant Motor, the car lot was open still. We had 1 retail store that was up north, and we had 1 beauty shop that was still open, that was free, and it was up north side of Columbus. And obviously the church that was up there. And so I got on the internet and started researching warm places. I researched California, I researched Texas, and I researched Florida as far as places where I can go and do outreach ministries in the wintertime, because in the Midwest it's too cold for me to do outdoors ministries. Anybody know me or anything about the ministry, they know that I do outdoor ministry. So since Florida was the closest, I figured I would try Florida first. So I got on the internet and I found just some random people who lived here, and some church folks contacted me and said they'd be willing to put me up for a weekend or so I can come and check out Florida to see if that's where God wanted me to be. And so, and it was October, same month. That happened pretty fast. No, from August when my kids got taken, so October, the door opened up for me to come down here and check it out. So I got in the car, I didn't get the car, well, I got my car, drove to the airport, parked it at Park and Ride, got on the airplane, about $250 round trip to Florida, West Palm Beach. Came down, they picked me up at the airport, and then they let me use the car while they were at work. And I I didn't know nothing about Florida. I didn't know where I was going, so I was just being led completely by the Spirit. So I got in the car. After I got off the plane, they picked me up, took me to the place, showed me my accommodations, gave me the car and said, hey, if you go down there and make a left, make a right, and make another left, you're at the beach. I think that I'm just saying that, you know, there's probably some more terms than that. So I ended up right here in this very spot at the beach. And said to the Lord, well, here I am, God. I stepped out on faith to come to where I believe you wanted me to come and seek your face. So at this very beach, this very spot almost, I started walking and just praying to myself, just praying, just meditating and praying. And walking down the beach, a lady walked up to me, an older white lady walked up to me and said, can I pray with you? And so I prayed with her. And since she asked to pray with me, she was leading the prayer. And she said, after we got done with the prayer, well, during the prayer, she was saying, Lord, your servant have obeyed your voice. He stepped out on faith and did what you've asked him. I'm paraphrasing. It was to something like this. This was back in 2012. We got done with the prayer, and she looked at me and said, this is where God wants you to be. This is where he wants you to do ministry. And he's going to open up doors for you to be able to do the things you need to do for him. And so I was excited because, you know, I'm all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Going through my third divorce. My heart was still torn because I wasn't going to be with my kids anymore. And but this was the first good news I heard since then, so I was excited. And so this was 2012. So got back in the car, left the beach, got back in the car, and tried to find my way back to the house or the person's job who was allowing me to use their vehicle while they was at work. And on my way there, I got turned around and I saw this place called Miami Sub on the street is called Broadway. I saw this place called Miami Sub, so I got out. Because it said free Wi-Fi, and I wanted to use their free Wi-Fi, so I pulled up, got something to eat, and was using my phone with the free Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi. And right across the street from Miami Sub was this place called Valley of Love Ministries. And so I walked in there and asked them, you know, what is it they did? And they said, well, we're a ministry, outreach ministry. We cater to the poor. So anybody know me and anybody say anything about outreach, they know I'm all aboard. So I walked in there. The lady was sitting behind the desk, and I said, are you in charge? She said, yeah, it's my ministry. I said, you need some help? She said, yeah, sure, I can always use help. I said, I'll be back. Gave her my business card and turned around and got back in the car and found my way to where I need to go. The weekend was up, got back on my airplane, flew back to cold Columbus. It was 80 degrees here. It was like 30 or 40 in Columbus. Not even 40, about 20 or 30 in Columbus. It's October. So I went back to Columbus, got back in my truck, Jesus truck. And from that moment on, I started packing and preparing to make this trip every year around October to come down here for 5 to 6 months to do ministry. And so that's how this whole thing started in October 2012. My divorce was final in November. She divorced me in November 28th, I believe, in 2012. And so from then on, I started packing and preparing myself to do what I'm doing now. This is the 4th time I've come here, but the 3rd consecutive time I've stayed here. So 2015, 2016, and 2017, which is about to be 2018, because I usually come between October and December and stay all the way to May or June. April, May, or June, depending on what the Spirit is leading me to do. Basically to the weather breaks up in Midwest where I can do outreach ministry. So I just wanted to share that. A lot of people wonder how I do this and how I do that. Nothing but the grace of God. I don't have a lot of money. Almost none, really. I have what I need. That's what I've learned to say to people. You know, when they say, well, how do you do this and how do you do that? I say, God provides my needs according to his riches and glory. He gives me everything I need. I got food, I got clothing, I got shelter. What else do you need? What it is, when people lack the faith to believe God, they feel like they're gonna have all these security blankets. They need to have stuff stored up. When they store stuff up, they believe that by storing it up, they have everything they need, and that's not necessarily the case. So that was just a little bit of the testimony of how I got here. I like to give this testimony every year when I do my prayer walk, when I come to the beach for the first time, and in hopes that if nobody else but my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren, however far back, see my YouTube channel one day and see these videos, they can believe that regardless what anybody might tell them, that God is real, and the things that he said he will do, and he will do it more. I don't believe God can trust us with everything because we lose our mind. He actually does more than what he said he's going to do. He don't just do what he said he's going to do. He do more, because if he told us everything, we'd go crazy. We wouldn't be able to handle it. And he said he won't put on us more than we can bear. So God tells us everything we need to know to prepare to do everything he desires for us to do. So today is December the 5th, 2017. My name is Sean Henry Scott Sr. in Riviera Beach, Florida. This is my testimony. Oh, I should have bought my remote.